Is the glare too bad on these glasses? I'll take them off. When I first started making videos, I never thought it would amount to anything. You know, being the huge success that I am now today, and saying that with confidence is difficult, but it's also really easy to say. 5 years in the making, that's crazy to me. I think it's crazy to anyone, right? Like, that's a long time. That's a lifetime. For some dogs. When I first made my first music video back in 2013, I didn't think that, I was gonna show it to anyone. I was like, oh, let's make this for myself. I like making myself laugh, and I like just pretending to be creative. But then I realized, hey, I'm actually kind of a creative genius, so I kept going with it. Being a creative genius wasn't hard for me. If you are one, it comes out, automatically. You just have to show your passion. I named the title of my first video album The Beginning because working with that huge, expansive, umbrella over all these genres of music that I, performed with perfection it came natural to me. It was completely natural, and it was not forced. There were times when I've made videos where this is forced and this is not for me. And mind you, I love my fans and I do things for them, but ultimately it has to be for me. And if it's not for me, then it doesn't work, it never has worked. There are some videos that I've made out there that, I'm willing to say they fell below a little bit, they fell below perfection. They were still great and amazing and groundbreaking, and they broke the internet every single time, but it just didn't work, and we had to figure something out. The next year, I said, how am I gonna follow up the classics that I made? The only way I knew how was with Lady Gaga. I said, I'm making an art pop collection. I'm gonna do every song on art pop, her album the year prior. And my manager was like, that's impossible. You're gonna work yourself to the bone. I think it's 13 songs on that album, 13, 14 songs. You can't do that many songs in an album. I did it quite a lot in my first video album, but my second video album really couldn't handle that much. So with art pop, it was time to tinker down. I picked 3 songs. I really, worked down to pick art pop, GUI, and Donatella because these songs were really representing who I was as a person at that point in my life. That's when I really became a superstar. I really did become one of the world's biggest pop stars. Not by creating my own content, but by being creative in making beautiful, artsy music videos. A lot of people ask me, do you have a voice? Of course, I couldn't, there's a possibility that I don't, but I think because I do, I know and I appreciate voices better, and I can really fine tune, figure out the best songs for me to lip dub or to lip sync. My next album was kind of when I fell off. I think a lot of people noticed that I wasn't doing the best. I wasn't coming out with really expansive, juicy content. So it was time to figure out, who am I? I'm a queen. The album Queen was made because I had actually started watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and I thought, this show is an embodiment of me. They did it for me. I look at myself and I say, everyone is creating because I exist. And it just clicked from there. Really, the only video I made was Glamazon. None of them were full feature music videos that I created by myself. I've starred in one of them, but I wasn't actually part of the third music video. And that was kind of disappointing to put some people in that album Queen. I think ultimately, I just had to focus on myself that year. 2015 was a hard year. 2016's UC was, I think it was the most hopeful album ever. People were saying, oh, he's back, you know. I was never gone, but he was back. UC, other people say, what does UC mean? What it means to me? Do you see me? You know, like, are you seeing me? Look at me. I think people were really not judging me based off of my creativity and who I am as a person. They judged me on my flaws. And I think you need to look that my assets outweigh my liabilities 100%. UC had 2 songs, and I actually said that UC isn't an album that's restricted in its year. It's a timeless album, which means that yes, I am still making a song on UC, even though that album was released and it's set in stone in the past. It's actually not set in stone. I'm making more content for that album. When will that be released? Whenever, you know, I decide that it's perfect and it's good to be out in the world. Elastic Heart was my most vulnerable self. That music video had every part of me exposed. A lot of people say, well, Year of Pink, 5 years in the making. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm announcing that my first song will be Remember Me by RuPaul off of her album Remember Me. That was made earlier this year. It's a pretty in-season song, but that was kind of my inspiration for Year of Pink. When I first said, what is this album gonna be? This album's gonna be the best album. It has to be the best. I'm turning 18 this year. I'm graduating from high school this year. This year is a lot of things for me. So it has to, my album has to reflect that. And it's going to reflect that. So Year of Pink was an obvious choice. The setting in this room really inspired me too. I was inspired by a lot of things around me to make this album Year of Pink. I'm actually shooting my first music video today, which is hard, but I do it because I know I can. I'm the best at what I do, simply. When I first said, well, what's the name of the album? What should it be? And I said 1/7/17, 2017. They just didn't ring to me. They felt correct, but not too correct. So we're definitely gonna be Year of Pink. I'm so excited to show you guys this new content, and I hope you enjoyed these videos. Thank you for watching. Are you literally incompetent? Like, figure your life out. A lot of times people ask me, are you the second coming of Christ? And obviously it's a ridiculous question. There's no way of knowing. But yes, I gave you a lot of good stuff, guys. I gave you a lot of good stuff. I don't know, just use one of them. Can I get a sangria and a nap?